This is a way how you can actually easily buy a condominium here in Bangkok.
Brilliant.
If you gamble on that one, it might not be the right way to do it. Some projects use that basically to reel the customers in, right? So a lot of people are actually asking for it, and this is more for companies.
Hello, welcome to Swaddy Crowd. My name is Rob, and whether you're looking to purchase a house, a condominium, or perhaps even some land here in the Kingdom of Thailand, we're going to be covering some burning questions that you guys have been leaving me over the past couple of months. But I'm not a property expert, but I know a man who is. All right, so our resident property expert is joining us again, Jerome from Sukhumvit Homes.
Hi guys.
And he's going to be answering our burning questions and things about buying property here in Thailand. All right, so what is the number one question that you get asked about buying property here in Thailand?
I think the number one question is people just want to know if they are actually able to buy a property in Thailand. And there are a lot of different stories, and a lot of people think they cannot, but you can. You can buy a condominium, you can even buy land, you can buy a house, but there are special rules for it. But normally a house and land is very difficult. Condominium is easy.
Right, so like you just said, buying a condo is easy, but buying the land's a bit more difficult. What's the reason behind that?
Well, the reason is because it is very difficult to own land in Thailand. Basically, 51% of the land needs to be owned by Thai, so you can only own 49%, and that's a little bit difficult if you have a house. And there are exceptions to the rule. So there is the section 96 of the Land Code Act, where you can buy a piece of land by investing in Thailand. But this is a very special rule. You need to invest more than 40 million Thai baht in bonds and assets. You are also only able to buy up to 1 rai of land, and 1 rai is 1,600 square meters or 17,222 square feet. And then next to that, it needs to be approved by the BOI, which is the Board of Investors of Thailand, and that approval doesn't happen a lot.
Okay.
So a lot of people are actually asking for it, and this is more for companies. And I would say it's very, if you gamble on that one, it might not be the right way to do it.
Okay, a bit too risky.
Well, it's not risky, but it's just a very small chance that you can actually apply for it and that it works for you.
Great. All right, so I heard there's a limit on how many years you can leasehold land here. I think it's 30 years, is that correct?
Yeah, so what I just explained is that there's a way that you can just buy land properly, but there is also a way that you can lease the land. And the lease of the land is 30 years, that's correct. But mostly you can actually extend that with another 30 years or even up to 90 years.
Nice.
And here in Bangkok, there are a couple of projects where you have housing estates where you can just own a piece of land. But yeah, what it says is after 30 years, it's not yours anymore.
Yeah.
And the reason is because the owner will still be the Thai government or a Thai company. So,
Sure.
Yeah.
So it's never fully yours, right?
Not in that case.
No.
If you do, and it's the same with rentals. Actually, you have freehold and you have leasehold. Freehold basically means that a person can just outright buy an apartment and then just own it. The reason why they can do that is because, for example, a building with 100 apartments can be on one piece of land, but you can still divide these apartments in percentages. And 51% of these condos have to be owned by Thais, and 49% can be bought by foreigners. And this is a way how you can actually easily buy a condominium here in Bangkok.
Brilliant. Okay, so on the way over here, actually, I saw a big sign on a new development. It said 8% yield over 3 years. Is that quite common here to get like such high yield and return on investment? Is it good or bad? Or
some projects use that basically to reel the customers in, right? Because it's it's like fishing, right? Now it's like because it's only for 3 years, and 3 years is not that much.
Okay.
So if you buy an apartment and they guarantee you the yield for 3 years and you get 8% back, which means that you get 24% back, which is actually quite good.
Yeah.
But then if you never rent it out after that anymore, then it's actually worthless, right?
Yeah. And the occupancy rate is quite low here. Well, in Bangkok, isn't it? It's something like 40, 60%. Is that right?
It depends.
Yeah. It's like seasonal, goes up
Well,
and down.
it's not seasonal, but it really depends on the market that you're in.
Sure.
So for example, we are specialized in the higher end market, and that means that there are we only have condos and apartments in a very specific area here in the city center.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And for example, if somebody wants to live here in the Prompong area and they want to live next to the BTS station, there are only a few buildings.
Yeah.
So these apartments, they rent out really well, so they have almost 100%.
Sure.
But if you're in the outskirts or you're in a place that's really far away from the BTS, it might be only 30 or 40%.
Yeah.
No, but your building is very popular.
Yeah, don't
right?
tell them, my building's empty.
Yeah. Really?
It is, yeah.
Oh,
it's probably like 20-30% people in there.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's why I've not shared it yet.
Yeah.
Shh. You have to subscribe if you want to see that one. All right, so like I said, I saw the sign for 8%. Would you?
Yes.
Is that a good yield, or what would you say is like the average?
8%
yield,
would be amazing.
like that?
8% would
so
be
kind
amazing.
of the high end, right?
Yeah, but I think a more realistic yield would be around 4 to 5%.
Okay,
Yeah.
brilliant. So don't get your expectations too high.
No, and then again, it really depends on the project that you're investing in, and for that you need to do a lot of research to make sure that you get the best one.
Sure. Okay, so we kind of touched on the 51-49% ownership between Thais and foreigners. Do you think that'll ever change in the future, or it's kind of sort of setting the roots of Thai values? I think
There was some news on social media lately, and well, I don't know if it's fake news, but the thing is that the government is always trying to come up with new ideas. So for example, there were new ideas about the tax regulations, about visas, and also about this. And to be really honest, I think the 51% will always stay.
Yeah.
And this is just a way that Thailand can protect themselves for not selling out the country.
it's a pride thing as well, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
They're proud of their country. They want to keep it Thailand's.
No, and with these kind of rules, I mean, you're guaranteed that all the land here is owned by Thais, and I think that's a good thing.
All right, so I heard there's a little bit of a loophole maybe, that if you come here, you start a company here in Thailand, and then as a company you could buy 100% of the land. Is that a good way to do it, or is it a little bit too risky?
Well, it's a good way to do it, but the thing is that the company can own 100% of the land, but the problem is that the company still is 51% owned by a Thai.
Thai, yeah, of course.
You know, and for example, I have my own company here. We started about 10 years ago, and we have one partner, and she's Thai, and she owns 51% of the company. So I am still a 49% owner.
Yeah, so it's still a risk, but it's okay if you know people here. But if you're new to the country and you're not familiar with like the companies or the people that you're dealing with, then it's probably too high a risk to even think about doing something like that, right?
Well, I mean, if you get the right people to help you out. I mean, for example, I'm specialized in the real estate, right? So you can come to me with any real estate questions. But there are also accountants and lawyers here that can help you out with these kind of questions.
Yeah.
And there are definitely possibilities. So
Absolutely. Yeah. And if you do have any questions, and just the whole process of moving here and buying stuff, make sure you get professional advice.
Yes.
Don't listen to YouTubers. Don't listen to even real estate agents.
You can listen to me.
He can point you in the right direction, which is absolutely amazing. We'll talk about how to get hold of him shortly. But for the most part, get advice from the people you need to, and just make sure you got all your T's crossed and your I's dotted. You need to cover yourself.
No, and you just mentioned, I mean, don't listen to the YouTubers, but the YouTubers are a very good source of getting information. You know, if you can watch the videos, and then you can have a bit of an idea what kind of condos would fit with you. Yeah. But maybe they are not the right people to actually do the business
We
with.
can only share so much,
Yes,
right?
exactly.
We try and point you in the right direction, give you some value and a little bit of advice. But for the most part, you should always make sure you got professional legal advice, whatever you do.
Yeah.
All right, that is going to do it for the questions from our property expert. If you have any serious questions, or you want to find out more, or actually go down the rabbit hole of investing in property here, email me at info@projectbangkok.com, and I'll forward it on to Jerome, and he will do his best to help you guys out. Only serious people to email though, please.
Only serious.
Only serious people. All right, thank you so much for your time today and answering all the questions.
My pleasure, Rob.
And I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.
Peace.